Canada has put limitations on the number of immigrants coming there. So has Australia, and so has the UK. US remains to be one of the only countries out there which have not tightened their rules against immigration. While US still remains one of the best options for Indians to essentially immigrate to, here's how US is kicking out silently thousands of Indians every single year. One of the biggest reasons is layoffs. Tech layoffs have continued, unfortunately, in 2024. The job market has not yet revived, and due to that, every now and then you would see people who are not able to get jobs even after studying in the US. Sometimes it can be difficult, and in many cases, even if you get a job, there's a good chance that you might actually face layoffs or see layoffs happening around you if you're not impacted by them. Remember, if you are laid off in an unfortunate situation, you get 60 days, my friend, to find a job. In those 60 days, either you get a job or you move out of the country if you do not have one. The second biggest reason is the H-1B visa. There's a cap to the number of visas that you can get under the H-1B in most cases. Cap is zinc once, we're not really going to talk about that. But as for the original H-1B, where you get to work in the industry, you have a total of 65 to 85,000 H-1B visas that are issued per year based on who you are. If you do not get this H-1B, you're only left with a very few options. One would be day one CPT, where you essentially go ahead and enroll into another school and then you start working on a day one CPT essentially. The other option might be to move to Canada or somewhere else where the company might have an office. Otherwise, in many cases, what you would see is that you might be terminated due to non-selection in the H-1B, and you might have to actually go ahead and move back to India or wherever you essentially entered US from. Now, this is a problem that is so common that thousands of people are facing this, especially Indians. And if you are facing this, my friend, you can actually take a look at the O1 visa. I have made a video over here on the O1, which will show you exactly how to make sure that you do not fall into this trap of the H-1B. So this one has a solution, luckily, and you can check it out. The third reason would be that employers sometimes are not cooperative. Sponsorship is costly, so many times what you would see them say is, you've only been in the company for 6 months, we're not going to sponsor you right now, but next year let's try. And in many cases, most of these candidates would have somewhere between 1 to 3 chances essentially to apply for the H-1B. And in many cases, of course, what happens as a result is that if they don't even petition one time, they're only left with 2 attempts max to max. And in 2 times, their name doesn't show up in the lottery. Well, goodbye. Number 4 is the green card wait times. And this, my friend, is also very important because most of you guys go for the EB2 or EB3 category, which has waiting times of somewhere around literally 15 to 20 years minimum. And that's the backlog, by the way. If you actually see at the rate they're processing, this might actually take 50, 100 years also in many cases, the way it works. So even at a very modest reality, when you apply for the EB2, EB3, you wait for somewhere around 12 years. That's the current backlog, 12, 13 years. And then in reality, even as a very modest backlog, if they're really fast enough processing, it might go up to 25 years in reality. There's a solution to this, by the way. You don't have to wait for 25 years for your green card. The EB1 pathway is a solution to this. If you show that you have extraordinary ability in your field, you can actually go ahead, get this green card in just 1 to 2 years. And the process for that is explained in this video, so make sure you check it out. And finally, number 5 really stems from point number 4. People want stability in life. Many people wait years and years to essentially have kids, to buy a house, to get married. All of this simply because they need the stability, so they want to wait for that to happen. If they don't have that stability and they realize that they're still on the H-1B for 20 years in the US, and now what happens is if they're still kicked out even once, you don't have a job for 60 days, you have to return back to your home country. In most cases, these people don't really feel very safe doing all of that, and they put their life on hold. And that's another reason why Indians sometimes prefer to leave the US after a couple dozen years, simply because they realize that there's nothing in it for them. Don't get me wrong, they do make amazing bank. They make a lot of money, and this money is going to probably last them a lifetime. However, keep in mind that that stability is not there. If you've been prey to some of these issues and you're actually facing them on a daily basis, you relate to what I'm saying over here, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. And like I said, I might have a solution for some of your issues. You can basically connect with me over there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Share this with the people who need to know, and make sure that you follow me on Instagram, where I have a lot more content just like this, which gives you information and also solutions. Goodbye and take care until next one.